Hey everybody, it's Joe from the Strange Voyage Files. It is June 17th, 2026 when I'm recording this. And I did a video, which is better, Shadow of the Devil or Bark at the Moon. That kind of triggered me into saying, because I still, at that point, I didn't know which one I think is better. So then I thought, you know what? I'm going to do my top 10 favorite albums from 1983. Because I did talk about other albums. I have them here now. As you can see, I have Hardwired to Self-Destruct, which is on top of them, so it doesn't blow the surprise, so you don't see what the next album is. So this is just focusing on hard rock and heavy metal, but there's going to be one album that is going to be like an extra that doesn't fall into the hard rock and heavy metal category. All right, so let's get this started. Number 10. And yeah, it's not ironic that Metallica was covering that. Kill 'Em All. A great album. And I will tell you, I will take this over Master of Puppets any day. I'll take this. I'll take Ride the Lightning. I will take And Justice for All. Master of Puppets is not really, out of the three classics, at least the Cliff albums, it's my least favorite. This one's pretty awesome, though. I mean, you really, God, maybe this is my favorite and not Ride the Lightning. Because there's no clunkers on here. Motor Breath, I remember the first time hearing Motor Breath and being blown away. Motor Breath may still be my favorite Metallica song. I got into Metallica later in the game when I was in high school, like a sophomore. I had already been into metal for a few years. Never really cared for Metallica, and a buddy of mine, really said, no, you gotta listen to them, So, I believe my first album was Ride the Lightning. But, yeah, this album's great. I do have fond memories of getting this album, and this album is really great. I know a lot of people probably put this at number one, or at least in the top 5. It's cool to hate Metallica, man. I just was never the biggest Metallica fan. So, number 10, for sure. Number 9, one of the best artwork albums on an album of all time, but Grim Reaper. See You in Hell. See You in Hell! Oh, man, this album is awesome. God. I haven't heard their other albums in a while. I know that there's kind of a drop-off with them. I gotta revisit them, because maybe I'll like them more. Wrath of the Ripper. I mean, the title track is my favorite, but Wrath of the Ripper is awesome. Now or Never. That's a good song. God, this is pretty. I've not listened to this in years. Gotta rectify that. See You in Hell. Great album. Very, very great album. Next one. Metal Health, man. First number 1 metal album with Randy Rhoads contributing, because he co-wrote Slick Black Cadillac. But when you get this, nope, it just says Kevin DuBrow, which I have to believe Kevin took Randy's name off it to screw the Rhoads family out of royalties. I'm just going to say it. There could be another reason. That's my belief. I have no evidence of that. But I don't know why else, because when you look at whichever Quiet Riot 1 or 2, the Slick Black Cadillac's on, Randy gets the credit. So, yeah, no. Randy Rhoads, number 1 album. And yes, this was a huge album, but if Kevin could have kept his mouth shut, they would have had more success, but he decided to blast everybody. Still a great album, though. I always loved Slick Black Cadillac. I love The Bitch is awesome. Thunderbird for Randy Rhoads. Ironically, they took his name off the writing credit, though. Breathless is awesome. Yeah, great album. Great album. And you know what? Frankie Banali, rest in peace, buddy. Man, did he keep Quiet Riot going. When everybody else kept coming and going. Frankie Banali, he was such a good guy. I never met him or anything, but just supposed to be such a great guy. Now, wait a minute. It's because I got to use... Yes, I don't have this album on physical media. I did a dozen... not a dozen... I don't think it was a dozen stock. I just reviewed this album. And it is a great album. Merciful Fate, Melissa. Hopefully I'm getting this in a thing where it's not reflecting off too much. Now, I haven't listened to this. I've listened to this album like 3 times, I think. I did it maybe more, because I know I did it for for the video, and then for the review, and then I did listen to it a couple more times. Now again, I'm not gonna wave the cross in anyone's face. I just don't like the satanic overtones. That's why Slayer's not on this list. That's why I'm not a big Slayer fan. Even though I know that was all tongue-in-cheek, and even with Merciful Fate, King Diamond on one of those metal albums with, or not albums, those videos, the guy did, that the documentary, you all know, you've all seen it. And then there was a TV show where he did different genres. He interviewed King Diamond, and King Diamond basically said, I played up the satanic thing. Again, I'm not going to wave the cross in your face. I just don't like the whole Satanism thing, when it's really, really pushed and whatnot. That being said, Melissa is a great album. Just because I'm not going to listen to it a lot doesn't mean it's not awesome. The band is so good. I understand why so many people love Melissa. Unbelievably great album. Absolutely needs to be on this list. The Return, man. Lick It Up. Love this album. I liked it, and then I ignored it for many, 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 many years. And then years ago, I revisited it. Yeah, this is great. Yes, you have the two big hits. I love Lick It Up. I love All Hell's Breaking Loose, the two singles. Million to One is awesome. Young and Wasted is awesome. Not for the Innocent, Exciter. And as much as a lunatic as he is, you got to give Vinnie Vincent credit, man. His writing with these guys is insane. And Vinnie Vincent, and then on Creatures too. Don't forget that. And then they had him come back for Revenge, and he wrote some of the songs I like on Revenge. He didn't come back on Hot in the Shade. That was Vinnie Poncia. But great album. Absolutely great album. I love Lick It Up. All right, what is next on our list? And some people are going to get mad. This is far down. Holy Diver. I do love Holy Diver. It is not my favorite Dio album. I know it is for a lot of people. It's still a great... now we're just getting into albums that are phenomenal. It's just... So, the rest of these albums are phenomenal. Shame on the Night, which I know a lot of people love, is the only one I don't really like on this. It grows on me a little bit more, but the rest of the album is just kick-ass. There's nothing... It's not a knock on this album that it's not number 1 or not number 3. It's still a great album. Love it. We miss you, Ronnie. We love you. Next one. Oh, God, yeah. Did I do this right? Yeah. Yeah. Peace of Mind. Yeah. And the reason I put Peace of Mind, again, great album, introduces us to Nico. To Tame a Land, I know a lot of people love it. It's the epic and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of. That's really... Quest for Fire is good. It's not great. But still, I think the other tracks put this album over Holy Diver. Just slightly. Again, just slightly. But a great, great album. Has my favorite of all time Maiden song on it, Die With Your Boots On. Of course, The Trooper's on here. But my God, it's Still Life. They did it. We did that panel reaction. So I've been talking to some of the people in the panel. Hopefully I can get all 4 of them again, besides my family. I want to do their reaction. I'm going to read comments, especially from that Heaven and Hell video where people just went crazy. And I want their reaction to that. But at any rate, we listened to Still Life. They didn't really like it. I love that song. Great album. All right, next one. The album, man. The album that's, come on, the thriller of hard rock and heavy metal. And was stuck behind number 2 behind Thriller. Yeah, I got this Walmart orange and yellow splatter vinyl. The other one I got it's an original Pyromania that I have, but the cover is just beat to hell. So I just grabbed this one. Love every single song off this album. The only reason I don't listen to it as much is I'm so sick of it. It's so worn out. I used to listen to this over and over. I love songs people don't like. Like Action Not Words, I still love. Stage Fright, I listen to all the time. This is great. Pete Willis is on this album. Does play on this album. And God bless Phil Collin, man. He's always been, he could have gone in there with an ego, and he sure didn't. He's always been very gracious to Pete Willis. Steve Clark, man. Underrated. I am so sick and tired of these, top 10 guitar players of all time. Steve Clark sometimes doesn't even make the top 50. All these pictures on Facebook and whatnot of everybody, all the people we've lost in heaven, the greatest band, Steve Clark. I'm telling, and you say whatever you want, lose your mind in the comments. Steve Clark is a billion times better than Dimebag. I don't care. I said it. Yes. As a writer, as a guitar player, absolutely. Never liked Pantera. No, and all right, let's say the obligatory no. Of course, I didn't want anyone to get hurt. And yes, what happened was truly a tragedy. But because I know, and I hate having to say that constantly, but somebody's going to say something in the comments. It has nothing to do with the guy's ability. Steve Clark was 1,000 times better. All right, now we're getting to the two. Which one is better? Shout at the Devil or Bark at the Moon? This was tough because the only song on Shout at the Devil that I think is weak is the cover song, is Helter Skelter. As I said in the other video, there are so many other songs that were left off. You could have taken that off, put Black Widow on, and it would have been an absolutely perfect album. Without Helter Skelter, it is a perfect album. Bark at the Moon is pretty much a perfect album. There were a lot. I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And a lot of things played in. The songs, which one do I listen to more? The people who played on the album. And when it comes down to it, number 2 does go to Shout at the Devil. And I will give my overall reasons why when I get to the Bark at the Moon. This is a great album. This is absolutely the second best heavy metal album of 1983. It's one of the best heavy metal albums of all time. This is such a unique album because every other Crew album... I'm just going to pull Helter Skelter off that stupid song off this album. Every other Crew album has weak tracks. Too Fast for Love has Merry Go Round and Round. I hate that song. And then everything else, Theater of Pain is a bunch of weak tracks. Girls, Girls, Girls sucks except for a couple songs. Dr. Feelgood only has a couple good songs. The rest of them just pretty much blow. I wish they could get in the mindset of this album again, but they never will. This album is absolutely perfect except for the Beatles cover. So yes, that brings us to number 1, and that is Bark at the Moon. And I pulled out my British copy, my UK copy, so I just think it's cool. Now, here's a couple. So when I get to why I chose this, yes, I think the songs are better. Yes, I think I listen to this more. And yeah, I know this has spiders on it, but the US version has Slow Down, which I love. For a long time, that was my favorite song on the album. Well, the other thing that plays a part in this is that the band. Now, while I like Vince's singing, a lot of people blast Vince's singing. Ozzy is yes, people will, but when it comes down to it, Ozzy is not the best singer in music by any means. He's a good singer. I like him. I love his singing. But when you put him against Ronnie James Dio, you put him up against Glenn Hughes, you put him up against Bruce Dickinson. Come on. But Vince is a good singer. A lot of people play. In fact, both Nicky and Mick Mars have said at different times when they were looking for singers, they both said, I don't think he was the greatest singer, but the way he got the crowd going, and I think Mick was the one that said the way he shook his hips, he was our guy. Out of the two, the only musician, Ozzy I think is better. The only musician that's better on Shout at the Devil is Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee, this is his God phase. The first 4 albums for sure, Tommy is just untouchable as a drummer. He gets worse and now you want to be a rapper and you want to blah, blah, blah. So Tommy is the better musician on the 2 albums. Beyond that, Jakey Lee, I love Mick Mars. Jakey Lee is better. You go back and there's people say Nicky didn't even play on this album. I'm not saying that's the case or not. I will fly the Bob Daisley flag forever. Tommy Aldridge, a great guitar or a great drummer, but Tommy's better. And Don Airey. Don Airey really made, I mean, his keyboards on Center of Eternity, keyboards on Waiting for Darkness, his keyboards throughout this album, You're No Different, they give this album that gloomy, dark feeling. This is the number one album of 1983. Yes, I'm biased because it's Ozzy. Probably even biased because it's my first Ozzy album, but it is what it is. Okay, then so that's my list, but there is an honorable mention that's not a metal album, and I love this album. I just talked about it when I was talking about Raised on Radio, but Frontiers is great. Frontiers is an awesome Journey album, big album. I mean, yeah, you got the big hits, Separate Ways, Under My Love, Faithfully. I love After the Fall. In fact, I think After the Fall is probably the best song on this album. Edge of the Blade is cool. Trouble Child. Side A I like better than Side B. I don't know if this would have, if I was to throw this in, if this would have made the top 10. Would it have beaten? I don't know if it would have beaten Kill 'Em All. I don't know. I could see it possibly going in there. But great album. Journey, I mean, phenomenal. This is when Journey had a office building. There were hundreds of people working. Journey was a corporation. That's how popular they were. There was a video game for this, the whole shebang. Honorable mention for sure, Journey Frontiers. Okay, so let me know what you think. Everybody's all over the place. There's a lot of different bands. I always gravitate more towards classic, traditional heavy metal. There's no album bands that are not in here that people would pick. Yeah, and I'm going to do this. I want to do the 80s for sure. And you're going to see I'm very biased after 84. I think 84 was the last great metal year. And I'm going to throw it in there. I think because as we get into 85 and 86, I think is when that stupid Run DMC Aerosmith debacle came in and destroyed music. Yeah, I hate rap. Sue me. I don't like Dimebag. I don't like Pantera. I don't like rap. Click somewhere else. But there's definitely a change. And then, of course, all the glam crap. 85, 86 is your Bon Jovi years and your Poisons and what. And I don't care. I don't care. Say what you want. I do like Warrant. Cinderella Night Song sucks. Stupid. Idiot. I think I've listened to that album about 3, maybe 4 times now. Nobody's Fool is slightly tolerable. Slightly tolerable. That album sucks. Yeah, that just opens the door. I mean, the second half of the 80s is kind of disastrous. I mean, we do have some great stuff that comes out. Don't get me wrong. Horse for the Wicked. Headless Cross. Somewhere in Time, Seventh Son. And again, that's where people started writing people. Ultimate Sin. I even like Turbo. I don't care. I feel like Ricky Gervais when he's doing that. When he's doing that speech with the the Critics' Choice Awards or whatever the hell it was. I don't care. Last time. I don't care. 5th time. Last time. I don't care. I really don't. It's my channel. And again, I say this a lot now. I average 50 views. If I get over 100, it's like woohoo! So yeah, I'm gonna say what I want to say. Yeah, second half of the 80s really blow. Overall. I mean, God, even look at bands like God, and I mean, if you were to talk 80s Genesis in the early 80s, yes, I like Invisible Touch. I think that's 86. Yes, I did. But I mean, you got that. You have, oh my God, I'm too blind to see what else? I mean, Michael Jackson, Thriller. I mean, I will talk about a perfect album. I don't care. I love Lionel Richie. Oh my God. I'm trying to think and there's so many other things. I don't care. Duran Duran. Duran. There's 7 in the Ragged Tiger. Is that what it is? The one with the reflex? Oh my God. You know what got stitched in my mind? And this is so weird. At some point in time, I had to be 10, 11 years old, something like that, 9, 10, whatever it was. And I must had HBO going, and Wrath of Khan was on, and I must have had the volume. There was no mute. I had the volume turned down, the knob turned down, and I was listening to the Reflex, and it's the battle sequence, and it's the part with dun dun dun. I'm sure whatever. But when it leads up to the chorus in the Reflex, the red alert starts going on, and it's like it's synced up. And that is always, when I listen to the Reflex and it starts going into the chorus, all I start thinking is the getting ready to fight Khan. So that's been stuck into my brain. But yes, I mean, God, everything. So many great. I mean, the 80s just 65 to 90, man. 65 to 90. Just what years? I mean, again, REO Speedwagon, Styx, Kansas. I mean, just. Oh my God. And you got. What did Randy get? Olivia Rodrigo, you seem so upset to be a sweet guy, whatever the hell it is. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this and my little tangent at the end. Like, subscribe, let me know. What are your 10 favorite albums of 1983? Let me know in the comments. Definitely going to do probably all the 80s. I'm very kind of excited to do the, obviously, 80, 81, 82, and 84. 80 is going to be tough. Everybody knows Blizzard of Oz is going to be number 1 for 80. I've already said that's my favorite album of all time. Diary's going to be number 1 of 81. 80. I'll do the rest in sequence. This was kind of thrown off because, my God, you got On Through the Night. You have the first Iron Maiden album. You have Heaven, and oh my God, Angel Witch. That is such a great. Talk about it. I mean, why can't you guys get it together where you keep a lineup? Why? Because that was such a great debut, and then everything, I even got, from Angel Witch, oh my God, I can't even think of the albums. I got their latest one, which sucked, and I did get another one that came out like 10 years ago or something like that. It was at Rolling Stones. I was like, holy God. Angel Witch came out with a new album? Sucked. You talk about one hit one, but that album, the first Angel Witch album, unbelievable. So, all right, yeah, I'm excited to do this. Let me know what you guys think about 83. Like, subscribe. Madison, well, you know what? Here's the thing. Madison doesn't get an Instagram unless she does the Instagram for this. And I talked to some of the youngins at work, too, and they're like, yeah, don't bother doing the next thing. And that's stupid. Because here's the thing. You know, all political because Elon Musk bought it. That's so dumb. You know, and I'm never going to do a TikTok, so. All right. Thank you for watching. I will see ya.